You hang in the deep quiet of space. Your small survey ship, the Stardust Drifter, is a speck of dust here. It is dwarfed by the scene before you. Before you stretches the sepulchre of giants, a place your star charts simply call the graveyard. This name was not given for poetic reasons. It was earned over 1,000 years of brutal, forgotten wars. The metal bones of 10,000 fleets hang in the silent dark. Here is the final resting place of long-dead empires. You see the hulks of Xylo's dreadnoughts. They float like shattered, artificial moons. Their spines are snapped open to the cold starlight. You can see straight through them. Decks and corridors are exposed to the void. Smaller ships are scattered around them like seeds from a burst pod. Frigates and cruisers from the Siren hegemony. They are tangled in a silent, slow-motion ballet of decay. You guide the drifter closer. You drift past a warship of unknown design. Its hull is a smooth, organic-looking curve. It is pierced by a single, massive projectile. The entry wound is a clean circle. The exit is a starburst of peeled-back armor plate. It is a frozen moment of violence, preserved for centuries in the vacuum of space. You see hulls ripped open like tin cans. They reveal the intricate, dead machinery within. This is a monument to cosmic ambition. It is a testament to ultimate futility. The reasons for these wars are lost to time. The names of the great admirals are less than dust. The heroic last stands and desperate charges are gone. They are echoes in an eternal, uncaring silence. Only their magnificent, broken machines remain. They tell a story of immense power and terrible consequence. Every single wreck is a chapter in that grim, silent tale. Your ship's light sweeps across a Titan. It was once a human carrier, the indomitable Will. A name dripping with an irony you can taste. Its flight deck is a 4-mile-long canyon of scarred metal. Fighter craft are still locked in their launch cradles. They are frozen just moments before a final, fatal deployment. You feel a strange sense of reverence here. It is a cathedral built from courage and destruction, a holy place for a faith you no longer follow. This silent expanse is not just a tomb. Your ancestors saw something more in this desolation. Beyond the jagged edges and the silent weapon ports, they saw hope. They saw the raw materials for a new beginning. They saw a future forged from the mistakes of the past. This silent, star-born cemetery held a profound secret. It was not an ending. It was a harvest. A vast, waiting field for hands willing to do the work. The light of a distant nebula paints the scene. Hues of ethereal purple and deep, royal blue wash over the wreckage. It gives a ghostly illusion of life to these dead things. You see a flicker of light from a nearby destroyer. It is not a system coming back online. It is just a trick of the light on a large shard of crystal viewport. Or perhaps it is something more. The graveyard plays tricks on the mind. The silence here is a physical presence. It is deeper and more profound than the quiet between worlds. It is the silence of finality, a peace purchased at an unimaginable price. Your ship's engines are a bare whisper against this infinite stillness. You feel like an intruder in this hallowed ground, a tourist visiting a history you can never truly comprehend, a child walking through the ruins of your parents' terrible mistakes. Yet, you are not here to mourn. You are not a tourist. You are here to learn. You are here to work. Because in this vast, sprawling field of ruin, you see the future. You see the gleaming bones of new cities. You see the armor plating for new farms. You see the captured starfire that will light new human worlds. All of it is waiting here, waiting to be born again from this cold, metal death. The promise is greater than any treasure hoard. But the price of this reclamation is steeper than any mountain. Your console pings with a soft, polite chime. It is a proximity alert you configured yourself. You are nearing the effective radiation radius of the nearest hulks. The true danger of this place is not visible to the naked eye. It is not the sharp metal that could tear your ship apart. It is not the slim chance of a collision. It is a poison that seeps from every broken ship, a lingering, angry legacy of the power that tore them apart. You run a quick diagnostic of your shields. You check the integrity of your containment fields. Everything is stable and in the green, for now. But you know much better than to feel safe out here. This is the very edge of the poisoned fields. This is the place where the real work begins. And this is where the ghosts of these starships truly awaken. They do not appreciate visitors, especially those who come with tools and intentions to harvest. This is what you were trained for. This is your calling, to walk among the metal dead, to soothe their restless, decaying energies, and to bring life back from their cold, silent remains. Your task seems impossible to an outsider. Many in the wider galaxy call your people foolish. They call you ghouls and scrap pickers. But for your people, it is the only path forward. It is the only way to build a future from the ashes of a galactic past. The sheer scale of it all threatens to overwhelm you. Hundreds of thousands of warships. A collection of loss that spans an entire galactic arm. You wonder if the builders ever imagined this specific end. Did they think their proud creations were eternal monuments? Did they understand their terrible weapons would outlive their own civilizations? The silence offers no easy answers. Only the cold, hard, metallic reality of what lies before you. You take a steadying breath. You push your little ship onward, deeper into the beautiful, terrible graveyard of stars. You cross an invisible, shimmering line in the void. It's a boundary you can only see on your energy sensors. Instantly, your instruments begin to chime their warnings. The sound is not an aggressive alarm. It is a low, mournful tone by design. It is meant to inspire respect, not panic. The air in your cockpit, recycled and pure, suddenly feels heavy. The graveyard is no longer a silent, distant museum. It has become an active, hostile, and deeply personal environment. These hulks are not truly dead. Their hearts are still beating in a slow, agonizing fashion. The massive reactor cores of these ancient warships decay with geological patience. They bleed exotic energies into the space around them. This is not the clean, controlled power that once lit their cities or powered their guns. It is a raw, unstable, and venomous radiation. A poison that contaminates every molecule it touches. Your ship's hull groans softly. It is the sound of metal resisting a force it was not built to endure. Think of this place as a field of wounded leviathans. Each one is slowly leaking its lifeblood into the black ocean of space. This energy twists and warps the fabric of reality on a quantum scale. It creates pockets of intense, fleeting gravity. It generates phantom energy signals that mimic active starships. Your sensors flicker and dance with ghosts and false readings. Navigating these fields is a three-dimensional nightmare. It's like trying to sail through a hurricane made of lies. Some of the old-timers joked about it. They said it's like this patch of space has a fever. A really nasty one, complete with body aches and vivid hallucinations. It was never a very funny joke to the people who actually had to fly through it. It is even less funny when you are the one at the controls. Your screen shows a mirage of an entire fleet charging you. Then it vanishes. You see a phantom torpedo launch from a long dead vessel. It fades to nothing just before impact. This poison does more than just confuse your sensors and your mind. It actively degrades matter itself. Your ship's armor is a special composite. It is designed to withstand this specific type of decay. But it can only do so for a limited time. If you stay too long, your hull will become brittle as glass. Your advanced systems will begin to fail in unpredictable ways. The very atoms of your vessel will start to forget their bonds. It is a slow, creeping, and irreversible death. Your ancestors did not understand this at first. They arrived with their simple tools and simpler plans. They saw only mountains of high-grade starship alloy. They saw intact weapons systems and pristine power conduits. They saw a treasure trove beyond their most extravagant dreams. They were completely blinded by their desperation. They did not see the invisible dragon that was guarding all that gold. A dragon made of physics and time. The core decay creates a unique and terrifying star-borne weather system. There are fierce currents of hard radiation. These are invisible rivers of death that flow between the wrecks. There are sudden, violent storms of charged particles. These storms can strip a ship's shielding in mere seconds. They can fry hardened electronics and boil away stored fuel. You have to watch the energy forecasts constantly. You must navigate the currents with extreme care. You are a sailor on a deadly and utterly invisible sea. You guide the drifter past a smaller vessel. It was once a sleek corvette, fast and deadly. Its hull is now strangely warped and twisted. It looks like a sculptor made it from soft gray clay. That is what the constant core bleed does over thousands of years. It reshapes the very nature of metal. It makes solid steel flow like warm wax. It is a chilling, silent reminder of the immense power you are facing. A power that dissolves reality itself. These poisoned fields are not empty of life, either. Strange, energy-based organisms have evolved here over the eons. They thrive in the high-radiation environment. They feed on the leaking power from the decaying reactor cores. They are not intelligent in any way you would recognize. But they are territorial, and they are extremely dangerous. They are just another form of hostile wildlife in this lethal, glowing garden. You see one now, off your port side, a shimmering, ribbon-like creature made of pure light. It must be dozens of miles long. It pulses with a soft, eerie blue-green light. It swims gracefully through the radiation currents. It is one of the most beautiful things you have ever seen. It is also utterly deadly. It is drawn to the clean energy signature of your ship. You carefully adjust your course to give it a very wide berth. There's no profit in tangling with the locals, especially the pretty ones. But the greatest danger of all remains the cores themselves. Many of them are unstable. They hang on the very edge of collapse. A single stray energy pulse from your ship could tip one over the edge. It could trigger a chain reaction, a catastrophic implosion, followed by an explosion. A blast that would vaporize everything for thousands upon thousands of miles. Each and every wreck in this graveyard is a bomb. A bomb waiting for one wrong move. This is precisely why you are here. This is why your work is so profoundly important. You are not just harvesting materials for your people. You are cleansing these fields of their poison. You are carefully and methodically disarming these ancient bombs. You are healing a deep, infected scar on the face of the galaxy. It is a slow, painstaking, and incredibly risky process. But someone has to do it. Your people decided long ago that it would be them. A decision born from the ashes of terrible necessity. To understand why you would risk this, you must feel what your ancestors felt. Imagine it. Your world is broken. Your city is a ruin. The sky is a permanent shade of gray, and you are starving. Not hungry, truly starving. The gnawing emptiness in your belly is a constant companion. Your leaders call it the Great Unraveling, a polite term for the end of everything. There were no victors in that final war. There were only you and the other survivors. Your home worlds, once vibrant jewels, were shattered. Their fields were barren. Their factories were silent monuments to a better time. The star-spanning trade networks that fed billions, they were gone. You are part of a struggling colony, a tiny flicker of life in a vast, hostile galaxy. You live on dwindling rations and even faster fading hope. You are tough. You have to be. But you are also tired. So very tired of fighting. But survival itself is a new kind of war. A quiet, grinding battle against despair. You try everything. You work the hydroponic farms until your hands are raw. But the equipment is failing. Spare parts are a legend. You look at the faces of your children. You see their thinness, their quiet hunger. You know you are on a long, slow slide toward extinction. It is a cold, hard fact. Then, one day, you hear a new idea. A wild proposal from a historian named Ilara Vex. She points to the sky, to the dark patches of space everyone avoids, the war zones, the graveyards. For your whole life, they have been symbols of death, places of sorrow and fear. But she sees something different. She sees metal. She sees power. She sees salvation. She says you must not run from the past. You must harvest it. You hear the outrage in the council chambers. You hear the people in the street. They call her the corpse picker. They say she wants to desecrate the graves of your fallen heroes. They say it is a suicide mission. And deep down, a part of you agrees. It feels wrong. It feels like tempting a fate you have only just escaped. A foolish, desperate gamble. But then you hear her speak. Her voice is clear and strong. She does not promise riches or glory. She promises survival. The dead do not need their swords, she says. The living need plowshares. Her words cut through your fear. Her logic is brutal and undeniable. We honor the dead by living on, not by starving beside their glorious monuments. In that moment, hope feels real again. A dangerous, fragile thing. The councils debate forever. It is the one thing humanity perfects in every age. The ability to hold a meeting during an apocalypse. But finally, they agree. There are no other options left. They announce the first harvest. A single mission to see if this mad idea can work. They ask for volunteers. And you, with the image of your hungry child in your mind, you raise your hand. You will go. You will risk everything for that one sliver of hope. You will sail into the graveyard itself. Imagine you are on that bridge. The bridge of the hope's flame. The air is electric with a nervous energy. You stand beside Admiral Gian, a man who looks like he was carved from asteroid rock. Your tiny fleet of 7 ships is all that remains of your colony's power. It is a collection of rust and hope, held together by little more than faith. Your target is a massive Siren battlecruiser, a silent, sleeping giant. The plan feels solid, surgical. You will not go deep inside. You will simply cut away pieces of the outer hull. Valuable, high-grade armor. A quick, clean salvage operation. You watch as the first hours unfold perfectly. The fleet moves into position. The Siren wreck remains silent. Its power core reading is a faint, gentle whisper. Admiral Gian almost smiles. You feel a wave of relief wash over you. Maybe this will be easy after all. You watch the monitors. You see the cutting teams land on the hull. Tiny figures against a mountain of metal. Their plasma cutters ignite. Bright, silent flowers of energy bloom in the void. They are carving off huge plates of armor. Each one is a treasure, enough to rebuild a whole sector of your city. On the bridge, a cheer goes up as the first plate is secured. You cheer with them. The gamble is paying off. Then the tech officer calls out. His voice is tight with concern. "Sir, I'm getting a power surge from the wreck." You look at the sensor screen. You see the flicker of energy he is talking about. It is not from the reactor. It is from everywhere. A ghost in the machine is stirring. "It's like a nervous system waking up," the tech whispers. A chill runs down your spine. The comms channel explodes with screams. The cutting teams are yelling. The metal beneath their feet is humming, a deep, resonant vibration that you can almost feel across the void. Then you see it. Small bumps on the Siren hull open up. Point defense cannons, silent for centuries, swivel towards your people. They were triggered by the cutting, an ancient, automated reflex to being wounded. The cannons fire, not with full power, but it is enough. The work pods are vaporized. The teams on the hull are cut down in flashes of light. It is a silent, brutal slaughter. You watch in horror, unable to speak. The cheering on your bridge has turned to gasps of shock and grief. Admiral John barks orders. "All ships, pull back. Get us out of here." But it is too late. The giant is awake, and it is angry. A ripple of strange energy pulses from its core. It is not an explosion. It is a wave of warped space, a gravitic distortion. Your ship lurches violently. You see one of your fleet, the Stargazer, get caught in the wave. It crumples like a paper cup. It implodes without a sound. Then comes the second pulse, an electromagnetic burst that washes over your fleet like a silent tsunami. The lights on your bridge flicker and die. Your screens go dark. Every ship except yours, with its old, hardened systems, goes silent. Dead in the water. You are adrift, powerless. In the shadow of the monster, you have awakened. The first harvest is a catastrophe. You have learned the hard way. The dead fleets still have teeth. Imagine the aftermath. The grief, the anger, the despair. The harvest project is finished. Or so it seems. But then you hear the new proposal. It comes from Alara Vex again. This time her voice is different, humbled, wiser. She speaks of Admiral Gion's last report. "We approached the beast like butchers. We should have approached it like doctors." A new idea takes root, not of salvage, but of healing. Not of conquest, but of care. A new calling is born from the ashes of that failure. They call it the Star Shepherd Program. And you, a survivor of that first disastrous mission, are the first to sign up. You will not let your friend's sacrifice be for nothing. You enter the new academy. The training is unlike anything you have experienced. You are not taught to be a miner or a soldier. You are trained to be a cosmic caretaker. Your new teachers are engineers and physicists, bomb disposal experts and xenobiologists. They teach you to see the wrecks not as resources, but as patients. You learn to diagnose their illnesses from a safe distance. You study the slow, chaotic decay of 1,000 different reactor types. You learn to read the energy signatures of a dying ship. You can tell its age, its health, its mood. It is like learning the secret language of the dead. Your new tools are not plasma cutters. They are harmonic dampeners and diagnostic probes. You learn to use energy siphons to gently drain a volatile core. You learn to craft logic bombs to pacify ancient, angry machine minds. Your job is not to destroy. It is to soothe, to disarm, to de-escalate on a scale that is hard to comprehend. You become a master of patience. There is a joke among your fellow trainees. What is the difference between a miner and a shepherd? The miner kicks the sleeping dragon to see if it is awake. The shepherd sings it a gentle lullaby, then steals its gold while it snores peacefully. You learn that humor is a necessary shield against the fear, against the memory of what happened last time. You and your new comrades spend years just observing. You chart the invisible radiation currents of the graveyards. You build a vast library of knowledge. You are preparing to try again. But this time, you will not go as butchers. You will go as healers. Your first patient is already chosen. It is the very same Siren battlecruiser, the monster that destroyed the first harvest. It is time for you to face your ghosts. It is time to prove that humanity can learn from its mistakes.